ready for a very radical statement.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live came before you. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Everything is in context. All in which you live came before you. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been.
All in which you live came before you. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Coconut tree? You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Everything is in context. Fell out of a coconut tree? Coconut tree? You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Coconut tree? Fell out of a coconut tree? Everything is in context. All in which you live came before you. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been.
All in which you live came before you. Came before you. Came before you. Came before you.
Imagine what can be unburdened by what has been.
What came before you? What came before you? What came before you?
I love good news. Love good news. I just love good news.
In this clip, we can see her clapping along to a song that's actually protesting her in Puerto Rico and stopping when her aide translates it for her. Pure comedy. But anyways, look at this dude. He's obviously there with her, but he's the one that starts the clap? I mean, like, I'm pretty sure he knows the language, so like, my guy, which side are you on?
Wheels on the bus go round and round.
Madam Vice President, Hamas says it accepted a ceasefire
You wanted
deal.
to know?
Hamas says it accepted a ceasefire deal. Your reaction?
What are your thoughts on Hamas accepting a ceasefire deal?
Okay. Big Sister General.
No, Taraji. Now, you know I wouldn't do that. Especially not to a fellow bison. The real HU? You know. So what's on your mind?
Oh, Madam VP Harris, I'm worried about the election. Women's reproductive rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
They not.
There's a full-on attack on our fundamental freedoms. The freedom to vote.
Yep.
The freedom to love who you love. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom for a woman to make decisions about her own body, not having her government tell her what to do. Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah, we all know he came.
The governor and I, and we were all doing a tour of the library here and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children. I love Venn diagrams. I really do. I love Venn diagrams. It's just something about those three circles and the analysis about where there is the intersection, right? Yeah, I see people that you agree with me, right? So, okay, so I asked my team, I brought props. She puts my face in her hand. So it's Barb and Mike, my father-in-law's Mike. She puts my face in her hand. She looks at me and she says, "Oh, look at you. You're prettier than you're on television. Mike, look at her." No. I swear to you. Is getting a fresh turkey?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's being delivered
And so
tomorrow.
just little, 1 minute out. I have 1
Okay,
minute.
yeah.
Kosher salt, fresh ground pepper, Maybe chop up a little thyme, and then you can mix it even with. Okay, so do the salt and pepper all over it, just lather that baby up, right? With on the outside in the cavity. You could also chop up, but not with the thyme, just the salt and pepper. Mix that up also with some thyme. You could even do a little rosemary if you want, under the skin with some butter before you're gonna cook it. So that butter will just melt in there. And then get a nice big bottle of cheap white wine to baste with butter. Yes, hi.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
As you can tell, she did not like that. This is by far my most favorite clip of her. Just Kamala saying her favorite phrase over and over and over again.
Unburdened by what has been. What can be. Unburdened by what has been. What can be. Unburdened by what has been. What we can see, what we believe can be. Unburdened by what has been. What 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 can be. Unburdened by what has been. Who we can be. Unburdened by who we have been. What can be. Unburdened by what has been. Where we can be. Unburdened by where we have been. And unburdened by where we are right now. What can be. Unburdened by what has been. What can be. Unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been? What could be unburdened by what had been? What can be unburdened by what has 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 been? Unburdened by what has been, believing in what can be. What can be unburdened by what has been? 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 What could be unburdened by what had been? What can be unburdened by what has 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 been? What can be? What should be unburdened by what has been? What can be unburdened by what has been? What can be unburdened by what has been? See what can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been? What can be unburdened by what has been? Unburdened by what has been and knowing what can be. Have a sense of vision about what can be unburdened by what has been. To see what can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What could be unburdened by what had been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. Where we can be unburdened by where we have been. What was possible unburdened by what has been. What can be 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 unburdened by what has been. That can be unburdened by what has been. There are those who are unable to see what can be, but there are many more who are able to see what can be unburdened by what has been. I see our college students up there. And let me just tell you, I love Gen Z. I don't know if some, I love Gen Z. So, okay, for the older adults, this is going to be a humbling thing I'm about to share with you. If someone is 18 years old today, they were born in 2005. Oh yeah, check that out. Think about that for a minute. Okay, see you guys later. It's the Bennetts.
Hello, Madam Vice President. Hello, Senator Bennett.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And as always, Wakanda forever. Paid for by Kamala Harris.
If you enjoy this type of content, feel free to subscribe. And as always, stay based.